This is a picture that portends things of the future. This will be Blythe Masters riding to J.P. Morgan on her bicycle in the future after the derivatives bubble blows up. Actually, this is a pretty chic way to go to ride in a bicycle in New York City. Nice dress, matches the bicycle pretty well. Nice attire, actually. But this will be the future for Blythe Masters. No longer riding the Mercedes, taking a bicycle to work after the derivatives bubble blows up. And justice sometimes comes around full circles for those people who thought up these wonderful derivative ideas in the first place. But anyway, just to get on with a couple tidbits here. But one thing, looks like Japan just approved a 10.3 trillion yen fiscal stimulus, which comes out to be $116 billion to boost the GDP to gross domestic product by 2% a year and create 600,000 jobs. Now, also in other countries like Greece, it's the same old story. The unemployment actually hit a record height of 28% in Greece. And in Spain, the manufacturing productivity, instead of decreasing by 3%, it's like falling through the floor. And it actually went down 7% in a month. Another factoid about Japan, it went from producing a surplus in 1 month to actually going to a deficit in the next month. So, looks like the trends are still continuing as were before. Nothing's reversing itself. Nothing's changing in Europe. Looks like unemployment is going up and manufacturing is going down, which makes me wonder, how the hell is China going to sell stuff? Maybe China's pumping up the numbers here a little bit. But anyway, maybe they'll be selling pink flowers on a pink bicycle. That's not a very good job. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be doing too much of anything because the biggest market for China is Europe. And if Europe's looking bad, I can't see how China's going to be looking good. So maybe, some of these things they talked about, 2013 being a bad year, which was what Jim Rogers and Mark Farber says. Now, Goldman Sachs says 2013 is going to be a good year. That's why they're going to move out of gold. But Mark Farber, you know what he says? He says he's buying gold every month. So the people who are selling out of silver and gold right now, they're not smart, in my opinion. Okay, Mark Farber is actually buying gold every month, and he's going to continue to do so as long as Ben Bernanke is in charge, Obama's in charge, and you got the American voter putting these kind of people in, because he knows it's going to blow up at one point in time, and you're going to want to be sitting on real assets. Now, I know it's actually cold in most parts of the country. Actually, yesterday here in Florida, it was like 73 degrees at about 10 o'clock at night. I had the roof down on a convertible, and I was running the AC in the house. So, I know if you're riding a bicycle, it's not the perfect place to be riding a bicycle if you're in other parts of the country, because an icicle will puncture your tire, and you'll have to fill it up. But, I don't know, what the hell can I say? It's just the way it is. But on another side note, I'm probably going to be getting this cat, a Russian blue, and the kind that doesn't make people sneeze too much, because I had them before. And I remember I had a Persian cat, which was lots of fur. It's like an anorexic cat. It's got no body, and it weighs like 3 pounds, and it's got about 3 pounds of fur. The body weighs 3 pounds and the fur weighs 3 pounds. It's a Persian. They make you sneeze like crazy. So Russian blue doesn't do that type of stuff. And I'm probably going to name him Putin. So when we deal with these Russians, dealing with all these exotic metals like these multi-billionaire guys, that'll be the mascot, Putin. Putin will be the mascot. So the real Putin, the cat. The cat, not the one that's over there, that's the big crook over there in Russia. It's going to be Putin the cat. So, I don't know. I'll see if I get this cat on Sunday, hopefully. We'll find out. So, anyway, that's Pet Rescue by Judy. She's actually a friend of a client that somebody I work with sometimes, and that's how I found out about it. But anyway, I'm going to actually warn you, too, even about metals. I've seen, like, with isotopes, God, they go from like €1.50 to like, 2,000 euros. It's crazy. It's whatever somebody wants to pay. So if there's actually a panic into these metals, say about 2017 might be a real panic time, they could be commanding some astronomical prices. So some of these things these guys have been talking about with metals going up through the roof, it's probably going to happen at one point in time. It's just that, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme when you're investing in silver. It's going to have ups and downs. Eventually, it is going to have this blow-off top where it's going to be hundreds of dollars. And it's probably going to be largely because of much higher inflation. Because as the system breaks down, it's kind of an orderly breakdown right now. But eventually, it's going to be a quicker breakdown. It's almost like a mechanical thing. It's starting to make a little bit of a noise, but it's probably going to go for a couple more years, and then it's just going to blow up. That's basically what's going to happen with the economy. And actually, without putting a bunch of charts and graphs out here, because nobody's predictions are actually that accurate. But, if you're looking at the overall scheme of things, it does look like every 3 years we have this peak in silver, and then it retraces. And it's 2014 might be the time when it hits triple digits. But I think in between that time, it's going to go to about 60, 70. And it's going to be predicated at the war with Iran. It's probably going to bring it up that high. You're going to see gold go nuts. But it's going to have its ups and downs. It's probably not going to reach its ultimate peak till around 2017. Quite a ways off, huh? But that's not that far off when you think about it. That's 4 years. 4 years. Big deal, right? Big deal. It might be $400, $500 an ounce by then, 10 times your money. So, and that, there's probably going to be rampant inflation. But the other side of it is this: people will panic into that metal during rampant inflation. Just look at what happened in other countries. It's not going to happen here even in 2013. We might have a gold is going to finish up higher this year, though. I'll guarantee that. It's going to finish up higher. Silver's going to finish up higher. It might have a spike and come down, but it's still going to wind up being higher by the end of the year. And the correction period is probably over with. It's probably pretty much over with. It's going to have to get up to some really crazy height again before it has a correction again. And I don't think it's going to get up to $100 or something like that. But when it's starting to get up over, say it gets over 50, there's going to be a lot of $100 predictions again. And I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think $100 is more like 2014. But the $400 or $500 deal, that is in the future. That is in the future. It's going to be due to heavy inflation. On top of it, an overly emotional panic into the metals, which is going to cause them to get way ahead of themselves. It's not just going to be, everything's going to go up that fast. It's going to be silver and gold are actually going to go up faster than everything else due to a panic. It's going to take some years, but just chill out. Don't sell this stuff. You don't have it. I'm going to do what you want. I feel totally confident in this. Totally. So I'm chill about it. I'm holding my position. And you might see this cat starring Putin. I'm going to call him Putin. And in some of the videos from now on, if I get him, if I'm able to get him, I don't know. If I can't, because I want to get a Russian blue, because these other cats, man, I don't know, they get to me after a while. They make your eyes water and stuff like that. And I think that would be a cool name because, we deal with some of these other, well, I don't want to tell too much on here who we're dealing with. And I don't want to say everything else I did. Actually, I recommended to one of those Russian guys to hook up with somebody in New York, and I think they did because they're into commodities right now. And I don't want to talk about it too much, but just look at it this way. The mission is to bring money into the United States of America for projects which employs thousands and thousands of people. So that's the mission. That's the overall mission. And cut through the bureaucracy as best you can to enable the mission to get done. That's exactly how it works.